Okay, welcome again to FeyanCnCtv with my co-host Jiraiya. He's with me. This is a 2 versus 3 match with Feyan and Daniel playing left versus right against the team of Jimmy, Matthew, and Vice. So Feyan is starting off here as the yellow vanilla GDI, and he's starting off in the top corner going against, or his ally is Daniel with the vanilla nod, the purple nod, starting at the top or at the bottom left versus, this is Vice, the pink GDI, vanilla GDI. Vice, we have Jimmy. See if that's Jimmy. I think that's Jimmy. Jimmy going Zocom in this match, the light blue Zocom, and Matthew as the screen, vanilla screen. Yes, vanilla screen, the green. So it's 2 versus 3. Here we go. Starting off, everyone sending out their scouts as they usually do. Matthew sending out his buzzers. There's Jimmy sending out his riflemen. I think he's going to go take the Garrisonable building. His men, of course, going through Tiberium, so getting some damage themselves. Vice already going with the Surveyor to the middle. It's very early in the game. Also very risky because that costs you 1,500 credits. Daniel also sending out a militant squad. Feyan putting a foxhole down in this strategic position because on this map there is no entrance here from these two starting positions at the top and the bottom. So the only parts of the map where you'll engage is this part. So if Matthew wants to come to Feyan or Feyan comes to Matthew, they will meet here or they will meet here in this bigger area in the middle. See where Matthew is going. All right, Matthew's already sending his disintegrators to this part up here, and for the bottom part it's this part here. There's an entrance here, or they'll meet each other here in the middle. That's why this is very smart of Jimmy to take this middle, so he will have vision on this entire area. So Feyan knows that this is the entrance to come by, so he's putting rifleman squads over there just to have a good line of sight. See how everyone's doing. Matthew on 2 refineries already on the blue tib. Jimmy not yet, but he is going for, or no, Matthew already made a foundry in Jimmy's base. See how Vice is doing. Vice is a standard opening. Daniel also with a crane, already has quite a lot of men, and he's positioning them close to his entrance, so he doesn't want anyone to sneak in his base, because the only entrance in his base, well, he has 3 entrances, here at the bottom, here, and here. So Daniel needs to take this building for the next time, because if an opponent takes this building, they have a strong position here to keep on attacking his harvesters. That's why it's very important to always put infantry in these small buildings. That's why Feyan already sent men here. He just didn't put them in his garrisonable building yet. Feyan also on two refineries. Matthew was the quickest on 2. He's also already on his nerve center, so his tier 2 is down. Matthew's very quick. He's building quickly here. See what Feyan's doing. 3 harvesters for Feyan already. This, I think, is another harvester.
Found expanded.
Fights a little bit slow on his war factory. See what his next building is. If this is a refinery, if that's a refinery, then he should place it here near his blue Tiberium. Right here. See what that is. Not yet. Fane is already beaconing. He's already pointing to the spot, telling Daniel to go here. It's time for you to expand to the blue, because as soon as you have the 2 refineries, you can already expand. Fane is already expanding to the blue Tiberium. It's an early expansion with his MCV. It's not really that early because it's good timing. He already took the structure, moving towards the blue Tiberium. I expect Matthew will do that soon, as soon as he drops this building. Let's see what this is. Another refinery. So he'll drop 3 refineries before he moves. I think he'll pack up and leave now. All right, Fayan's almost there. Matthew also putting some scouts over here. They had a first engagement here already. Matthew's buzzers got killed by the foxhole. And Fayan just placing this APC here just in case an enemy scout comes through, because Fayan doesn't want them to know that he's already expanded, making a refinery on his expansion. Fai's already with a couple of tanks up and running. Fai's does need more harvesters. He only has 1, so at this point you need around 3 or 4 harvesters to build up your economy. Jimmy also has a crane down. 1, 2 harvesters, but you need more though, because you need a minimum of 2 harvesters per refinery. He has 2 here, so you should also have another 2 over here. Let's take a look at what Matthew has. Matthew has already exhausted his blue Tiberium. It's all gone. So I expect Matthew to move over here relatively quickly. Not yet. He's still building more structures. So I am surprised that Matthew has not expanded yet. He does have a couple of harvesters. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 harvesters already for Matthew. So that's a good amount. We see Daniel already moving. He also could have moved through here. That would have been quicker, but he's going to go all the way around. So that will cost him some time. But he does have a good amount of harvesters. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 harvesters. 5. Fayan is on 3 harvesters. 4, 5, 6 harvesters too. So Fayan is already sending. Wow, this one isn't doing that well. It moved over here and then it moved over here, so he wasted precious seconds actually harvesting. So Fayan already sent 1 harvester to the blue tib, and he's making another refinery. This is, I think, another refinery. He's gonna put it down over here somewhere. Look at Vice. Vice is already making a stronghold in the middle. This is very good though, Vice. Also put down a war factory, so all your units that you make in the middle, they'll have a place to heal, and you can easily pump them out in the middle to reinforce your army in the middle. So this is a very good move of Vice. But what he did need is to exhaust his blue Tiberium quickly. He doesn't have enough harvesters on his blue Tiberium. You should have 3 or 4 here, just eating up this blue Tiberium, so you have a lot of money in the beginning. Here's a nope. I thought it was a scout, but it's just rocket men going over the Tiberium. So it's just a slow game in the beginning. Slow build up. Daniel going for a lot of Raider buggies. He has a lot of anti-air at the moment. Maybe that's a counter for Jimmy's helicopters. Jimmy's hammerheads, because Jimmy is Zocom now. So Jimmy has a couple already out. Already going for tech. His tech center down already. But he has 1, 2, 3, 4 harvesters, 4. And what Jimmy needs to do here is, before harvesting the green, you have to finish the blue first. Finish the blue, so then you know that you have all the cash that you can get in the beginning before you go to the green Tiberium. So Jimmy's already going for the zone shatterers. Vice continuing on in the middle, already placing down some units a bit further away for extra scouts, because he wants to know if an enemy army is going to come close by. So this is very good of Vice to do this. Daniel just continuing to build and expand right here. He needs a second refinery here. I think this is a second refinery. Dropping it down. Even placed some defense. Feyan is already dropping down some AA batteries on his expansion because he knows his expansion is vulnerable, especially to the hammerheads of Jimmy. So Feyan's already ready here with his AA battery, and he will place a couple more.
Maybe.
Still not on the tech, so Feyan is not going for the tech yet, but he does have a small army here with two slingshots and 2 APCs or 3 APCs, so he is ready for the helicopters. Matthew also having a small army moving to the middle already. His drone ship is still here. He still has not he made a second one already. A second drone ship, and expanding only now, so that is late. He expands very late. Gravity stabilizer, a second one. So the use of that is, of course, that you have extra positions for your storm riders, because you can only make 4 storm riders per stabilizer. So now we can make 8. Okay, Matthew building up a small force now here. Feyan sending out a single APC. It is lagging though a little bit. So Feyan is sending a simple APC just to scout, just to see what Matthew is up to. And that APC will be fired on quickly. So let's see what Vice is doing here. I think they had a first back and forth already. I am very surprised at Daniel's unit combination. He's opting to go for Raider buggies instead of Scorpion tanks. Usually Daniel always goes for Scorpion tanks, but he goes now mass rocket squads and no Scorpion tanks. Not even one. Alright, so Feyan's APC barely survives, using the D move to go back to his base. Game is lagging heavily. As the Riddler 2 music plays on, it's just nostalgia for us old school Riddler 2 players. This is the best music that there is, the best gamer music, in my opinion. Here we go. Let's see what Vice is doing now. Vice is on the tier 2 already. Well, not already. It is a little bit late though. But see, does he have... Vice not on tech yet, but he does have a very strong tier 1 army. Even has some pit bulls here to scout against stealth. Jimmy going for air, as he usually does. Hammerheads, and the Zocom hammerheads are really powerful. So Matthew already on the tech. Don't know what he's researching though. I think he's researching the shard launchers. I think it's the shard launchers because it is cheaper. The force field is just so expensive, 4,000. That's almost a super weapon. This part here, though, if I just see this part, is very vulnerable for a super weapon attack. If somebody drops a nuke or an ion cannon here, all your tech buildings are gone, your power plants are gone, your tier 2 is gone, and your super weapon is gone. This isn't a great placement. Matthew should have put this maybe over here, because this is very vulnerable, because as soon as this gets hit by super weapon, you lose a lot of buildings, and because they're so close together. See what Feyan's up to. Already almost exhausted his blue Tiberium field on his expansion. Dropped down some AA batteries, 2 already. Feyan's already building up a big army, has already moved to the middle. So Feyan is the second one to move to the middle. It was Vice, the first one. So Feyan's army is slightly bigger than Vice's army. If they would clash now, it would be a good fight. Jimmy building up some hammerheads already. Filled them with zone raiders. So these are expensive, and these are the strongest hammerheads that you can get. Let me see. Jimmy has mixed it up with rockets and zone raiders. This one's still empty. He still has to fill that one up. His blue Tiberium is gone now. But Jimmy has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 harvesters. 5. Let's see how many Matthew has. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 harvesters. So Matthew on a good amount of harvesters. Vice, his blue Tiberium is still not gone, so this is something that Vice can do better next time. That Vice has to focus on taking your blue Tiberium first before you start harvesting something else. So Vice has 1 harvester here, 2, and that's too few. That's why he does have a big army though, because he's focusing on army. But next time Vice has to make more harvesters. You just need more harvesters and more refineries here. He can make another 2 refineries here, and then he would be set. Does have his tech up now. Matthew has a lot of men. Now he's transitioning to scorpion tanks, so he'll have scorpion tanks. There he goes. Scorpion tanks and buggies. So Daniel now has a good army here, and he's leaving a lot of these men in his base against the helicopters of Jimmy. Also going for the tech lab. And Jimmy is the first one with the super weapon. Ion cannon already on 5 minutes. See where he placed that. Oh yeah, of course he was in the back. I saw that before. So no fighting yet. This it's been a long time. It's been almost, I'd say, 15 minutes with no fighting, but the fighting is going to start now because Matthew is moving his army close. He is in firing range, and there it is. The first shot of Matthew takes down half the health of this slingshot. Feyan is now responding. The first shots from the gunwalkers. His gunwalkers are moving forward a bit too far. A bit too far because your gunwalker shouldn't be this far forward. It should be your heaviest armored tanks, and these are the Devourer tanks. Matthew doesn't have enough here though for Feyan's tanks, especially these Predators. These Predators will just eat through all these tanks. So as soon as Feyan's Predators are up, but Matthew focusing on the Harvesters, he'll take down maybe 2 Harvesters. He's definitely gonna take down 1. Takes down 1 Harvester, and he's going for a second one. He's attacking the second one. Fully loaded Devourer tanks, but Feyan is fighting now, and Matthew has to move back as Matthew sees all these Predator tanks coming. Man, it's lagging. It is lagging. It is lagging. This is a slow battle. Oh, here we go. And on the south, we'll have an exchange with Daniel.
Another one in Feyan's base.
Yeah. The Storm Riders are coming up, but Feyan was already ready for the air. So that's why Matthew has not moved closer with his Storm Riders, because the Storm Riders are just going to be picked out of the sky with these 4 batteries there, and he can still hit them from far. And there's a clash here between Daniel and Vice. Good clash. But Vice, next time you need to put your APCs behind your Predator tanks. This is good placement. This is Matthew trying to help Vice out with a lightning spike, placing it behind the units. But Vice it's mainly his Predator tanks, and you see, because Daniel did not have enough Predator tanks, this is the reason why Daniel lost this fight though. Daniel has so many rocket men here. You could take half of these rocket men and use them in the fight, because now Daniel's gonna lose this. He's gonna lose this exchange. Does he have more tanks? No. Daniel, you usually make more tanks. This is the reason why you'll lose this, and you're not retreating with the D move. Next time use the D move. He only has 1 Scorpion tank left. Vice is overrunning him. So Vice won this first skirmish, and Vice is moving forward. And Daniel, I think he decides to still make a stand. It's not a good idea. Jimmy is coming with his helicopters. They're pushing Daniel back. And Feyan decides to move forward. So he drove Matthew off. He fended off the first attack. Matthew is standing here, and he's reloading He's reloading his Devourer tanks. Feyan is even taking the front path. He will see the drone ship soon. But this push. So Feyan should have actually moved downwards to help Daniel. But let's see what's going to happen now. Is Vice going to move forward? Vice is going to move forward. But Daniel actually has enough here to stop him, because Vice hardly has anti-infantry. He has 4 APCs. But Daniel, you should not fight with your Raider buggies against tanks. Your Raider buggies should only go against air and infantry. That's why these Raider buggies are going to be slaughtered. And we have another fight up top here. Feyan is going for the drone ship. He's attacking the drone ship now, but his attention is split because he's also attacking these units to the south of Matthew, fully loaded Devourer tanks. It's not enough though, but Feyan is splitting fire, and he decides to move backwards because his fire is split and he'd rather focus on one thing. Daniel is pushing now. Daniel even has his hexapod on the field, so this is already a strong army of Matthew. So the fight, it's all out action right now. Matthew also sending his Storm Riders over here. His Storm Riders getting ripped out of the sky by the slingshots. Matthew gonna move forward. He keeps his drone platform though. Feyan didn't do enough damage, only brought it to half health. And Matthew's tanks down here still doing good work. They're still alive because they're on the Tiberium. So Feyan has to move back now. So Matthew has won this fight, and he's pushing Feyan back. Let's see what's going on here. So Vice and Daniel clashing here. So Daniel deciding to send his men forward. And his men have to move back now because they're all going to be crushed. They're going to be crushed. He needs to move them back now. They're going to be crushed by these Predator tanks. But Vice not deciding to crush them. What Vice needs to do here is just drive forward and just go over here with his tanks, and then he will just drive over all these men, because now all of these rocket men, they are doing effective work now. See? So his rocket men of Daniel, they're slaughtering these tanks now because Vice didn't decide to drive over the tanks. What's going on over here? Nothing. Ah, okay. So Feyan did not retreat. He still moved forward. But Matthew has defended himself with these storm columns. So his defense is very high right now. But Feyan has a lot of firepower, especially with these rocket men attacking. Ooh, but Matthew goes for the phase. He goes for the phase, and the phase lasts long. So Feyan knows that. So he knows he's not going to be able to kill this eradicated hexapod. So he has to move backwards. He has to move backwards now because his hexapod is moving forward. Feyan has a lot of tanks here that will be trampled upon. So that's why he's sending back his units now. He has to retreat. But he did send an orbital bombardment. Feyan finally using those support powers now, sending the bombardment and trying to hit this drone platform and seeing maybe he can bring this down to very low health. This hectopod just chasing though, but it's not an ideal unit to chase. So that's why Matthew decided to go back, because he knows as soon as this phase wears off, Feyan's firepower, especially from his missile squad, is going to rip his hexapod to shreds. But Jimmy comes now and helps with his zone shatterers now. But his zone shatterers are being hit from the side. Feyan now decides to move forward again because he knows the phase is going to wear off soon. Just a couple more seconds and the phase will wear off. Matthew defending himself with more storm columns. These storm columns are a very, very powerful method of defending yourself. Feyan is not microing here well. His units are a bit spread. It's crazy movement here. But he decides to move backwards. I think because the storm column and the hexapod lives to fight another day. Is there another battle happening down here? Nope. Jimmy decides to retreat with his zone shatterers. If Jimmy went from this side and attacked Feyan on the side here, it would have been better. Because Matthew could have kept pushing forward. And Jimmy could have hit him from the side and used his helicopters also. And then he would have been successful. But Jimmy's busy here with his helicopters. Doing well with his helicopters here. But Daniel is ready with all these rocket men. And Jimmy's going to lose a lot of helicopters here. They're a lot on low health. He only has one almost on full health. but his helicopters, they have speed on their side, so they can evade. They're trying to evade these rocket men. That's the one downside of using rocket men as a defense against air, because you can kite them easily. So it's easier to use or SAM sites or raider buggies as a defense. Now they just keep on chasing them, but Jimmy can easily escape. See what's going up. Feyan refuses to do a full retreat. He just stays right out of range from the storm column, but his men are coming a bit too close. They're overextending, so he will lose a rocket squad. The micro isn't great from Feyan here. He's losing men unnecessarily. They're going to be killed. They're going to be electrocuted. This is... Yeah, see, so Feyan realizes that now, sending them back. The hexapod being healed. Yeah, Feyan just... He has a lot of anti-air here. He's ready for the helicopters of Jimmy. And this was a misclick. He does have enough Predator tanks though. Feyan should actually go around here at the bottom. Go around here at the bottom, and or hit this base, or try to come here from the bottom and try and attack it that way. Because just a frontal attack here is suicide. There's too many storm columns. The defense of Matthew is very tight here. Tight defense. Very good. Very well done. His blue tip is gone. Jimmy with the Shatterer tanks. More Shatterer tanks and a lot of Hammerheads. This is a good combination though. The Shatterer tanks and the Hammerheads. But you need to use them at the same time. Yeah, just using Shatterer tanks like this, it's not really smart, because then they can be countered. They can be easily countered, and you need a counter against a counter. That's why using multiple unit combinations is the best way to go. Just the way Feyan has here, he has 4 units here. If you look at it closely, he's got the APCs, slingshots, predator tanks, and missile squads, so he can protect himself from any kind of unit combination. But Feyan not going for a super unit, just opting to make more tier 1, tier 2 units. Let's see what Daniel's got. Daniel has a Redeemer on the field right now. A lot of rocket men, so Daniel really is ready for that air battle here. Daniel dropping down an Obelisk of Light, because Vice is coming again, and Jimmy. Daniel hasn't called for help yet, or else he would beacon his base. Hasn't called for help from Feyan, so I think, yeah, so Daniel thinks that he can do it alone here, or he's not going to be able to survive this just with one obelisk. He needs to drop another obelisk or more base defense. And Feyan is trying to push and trying to break down the defense of Matthew. Matthew going for a Mechapede and disintegrators now. That is a good move of Matthew. That's a good move of Matthew to make disintegrators, because Feyan doesn't have that much anti-infantry here. If you look closely, Feyan only has maybe a few APCs, so that is the weakness, and that's key. But Feyan moving, he is deciding to move his army down to the bottom. Yeah, I think he's gonna go help. He's gonna go help Daniel. Some of his rocket men going over the Tiberium. Vice going with one single juggernaut. He has a long journey to take until he gets over here. The Redeemer is ready. Daniel not engaging yet until he has his Redeemer, and he does have a squadron of Venoms. So his Venoms can take this out, can just shred this up. So he has to go now. He just has to go now, because there's nothing here. There's no anti-air. There's only two APCs, but he can easily take that out with Venoms or with his Scorpion tanks. So here we go. This force isn't big enough. There you go, Daniel. Good job. Let's see what Matthew decides to do. Matthew should have actually attacked right now, because Feyan's whole army is somewhere else. Feyan's army is down here, so Matthew should have attacked already. He has some avatars, or he has some tripods here waiting. He could sell off this storm column, that storm column for an extra cash. Let's take a look at everyone's cash. Feyan's cash is gone. Matthew's cash is also gone. Jimmy has a lot of cash. Daniel's cash is gone. Vice's cash is gone. So Jimmy's the only one with cash right now. Jimmy has a lot of Shatterer tanks just sitting in his base idle, so he could have used those already in the battle. Jimmy Shatterer's going up here, going around, so he didn't decide to engage this army, but go around. Look how much damage these Shatterer tanks do to buildings. So nasty. Look at this damage. Incredible damage. Incredible damage. And they do have quite a lot of armor, so it takes a while to kill them, see? So these Venoms could take out half, but these Shatter tanks will do nasty damage to these buildings. If I was Jimmy, I'd take out this right now. I'd take out the tech lab. Feyan moving forward now here. Let's see if Matthew will respond by moving his army down. Nope, he doesn't. So Feyan is moving forward now. He has a little trouble with the garrisonable building. Jimmy's still doing good work, and he's going for the refinery. He should have went for the tech lab. He should have went for the tech lab. The tech lab would have dropped easier, but he will take down the refinery. He will take down the refinery. Yeah, he will take it down.
One shot.
One more shot, and he should now go for the tech lab. He is losing tanks though. But before all these tanks will drop, he could still take down maybe one or two buildings.
The ion cannon is done.
Yeah, and Jimmy's ion cannon is done. Jimmy's ion cannon is ready. Let's see where he's going to throw it. Matthew just waiting for more units. Waiting for more units. Feyan is going for the army of, or this expansion of Vice. Vice still doesn't have a lot of harvesters. So the lesson for Vice for next time is, oh, and Jimmy drops the ion cannon right in the army of Feyan. He has a couple seconds to disperse his army for them to be hit. So he's trying to move his tanks. He moves the left side of the tanks down. Let me see how many tanks he loses. This is going to be gone, and a couple of rocket soldiers, I think. It's going to explode. Maybe this one's going to be gone. This tank, 1, 2, 3, and a couple of rocket men. So not very many units. I think he lost 3 tanks and a few rocket men. Did damage to some tanks, but wasn't a great throw. It wasn't a great throw. And Matthew moving down now, going to help Vice. Feyan just having a lot of eco here. This eco is here. He's got harvesters up here. Harvesters here. More harvesters here. And he's moving now to Juggernauts. This is a long game. It's a long, drawn-out game. Feyan has to move back now. Jimmy's coming in action with his hammerheads. Jimmy's in action with his hammerheads. But Feyan has a lot of defense against air. But Feyan has to move back because the army of Matthew is coming. Matthew has a good mix of units. Matthew has everything in his army right now. He's got mechapedes. He's got tripods. He's got gunwalkers. He's got seekers. He's got disintegrators. And his hexapod is trailing at the back. Feyan trying to focus down his fire. Even his juggernauts are joining the game. But Feyan knows he needs to move back a little bit because he is fighting 2 armies here. Jimmy from the air. Feyan has to make sure that all of his anti-air stays alive. He has 4 slingshots left. He needs to keep them alive, especially if Jimmy swings around again with these helicopters. So what Jimmy has to do is send his helicopters and attack from the top here because the slingshots are at the bottom. But Feyan is slowly eating away at his army. But he is in full retreat now, though. He's in full retreat now, though. Matthew is on his heels. Feyan just keep on getting reinforcements from these 2 war factories. So Feyan has a good position here. He has a good position right here. The team of Feyan and Daniel don't have a super weapon yet, so they can't really defend themselves. These juggernauts just hitting from far. hitting from far, killing this Devourer tank. Matthew deciding to retreat again because he knows his army has to come around. And if he comes around here, it just takes him a lot of time. And in that time, Feyan can just continue to pepper his army here. Because if he comes around here, it is a line. And he can't attack in a line because Feyan's units can all shoot at the same time. Feyan has a massive army here of Predator tanks. Massive. An Overlord's Wrath comes down. Matthew throws the Overlord's Wrath right in Feyan's base. Might take down two refineries. I think he killed one harvest. No, Feyan's moving his harvesters away now. I don't think he killed anything. If I look at... I don't think he killed anything. Maybe one harvester. But didn't really hit anything. But Matthew has decided to go up now. And this way is free. This way is free. Feyan only has one tank here. But he's going to realize that soon.
Feyan has an iron cannon.
Yeah, Feyan built an ion cannon right now. His army is moving the wrong way. He's going to be attacked up top here.
Now it's free.
His base is totally open now. His base is totally open.
But the Juggernaut's going to down. The Juggernaut's going to...
Matthew has free. He has a free
The
road
harvesters
into
are-
Feyan's base. Can just take down this war factory. Take down this construction yard before Feyan's army gets there in time. Feyan now moving back up. He knows he might not get there in time. His units on the side being hit by this tripod. This tripod having a little bit of defense because of these hills here. Let's see who else is there. Alright, Daniel now going to the middle has a small army, but he does have the Redeemer. Who else has an army? Matthew just having fun here in this base. Killing all of Feyan's units. Feyan has to move this Juggernaut back. He needs to move it back and start repairing his war factory. Let's turn the camera a little bit here. EMP. I don't get though how these got EMP'd. I don't understand how these got EMP'd. Okay, Feyan's railguns are now here. His railguns are here now, and he will do massive damage now. Matthew pulling off another phase. Another phase on his hexapod because his hexapod is low health. But Matthew doesn't have those healing units. I forgot what their names are. Disruptors? Are they called disruptors? I forgot what the names are. Matthew is going to take down this MCV though. He will take down the Space Command uplink. Doesn't have great armor. He has a good force here to keep on going. But Feyan will slowly move forward. He does have this phased hexapod to deal with.
These Venoms are coming.
He has to deal with the phased hexapod. I do wonder what happened to my music. I'm gonna go send back. Wait, let me just put on my music again. Yep.
The music was clear.
There it is. There's the music. Come on, here we go. Alright, Daniel coming to his aid with these Venoms. These Venoms can just keep on going because there's nothing to challenge them. There's no anti-air right here. Oh, Daniel, where are you going? Alright, so he's moving towards his Devastating Warship. This is a very important move of Daniel right here. Heroic Venom. Does he have two? Two, yeah, you're right. You're right, Jiraiya. Well seen. Alright. Jiraiya, my co-host, has a keen eye. And he saw that. It's very, very good. The Eradicator Hexapod keeps on chasing. But because he's so slow, he's never going to reach these Predator tanks. Feyan will just retreat a little bit and wait until the phase is gone. Jimmy's coming here. And Jimmy's here now with his Zone Shatterers. The thing with your Zone Shatterers is never attack in a line. He's attacking in a line. So that means only one or two will fire at the same time. If he has his Zone Shatterers attacking like this, so not in this kind of line, but in this line, like this, then they will all fire at the same time and they will just shred through these tanks. But now, he only has a few firing at a time. Okay, this is better now. This is better now. And you'll see now Feyan's Predator tanks, his front line will be eaten, but his Predator tanks also has a lot of railgun damage here. But this is the end for his Shatterer tanks. That's why it's very important to attack with multiple unit kinds. That's why, because he has nothing to protect them now. The reason why these died was more because of the venoms than the predator attacks. Because Jimmy had nothing. Because Jimmy had nothing to protect himself from air. That's why if he had some APCs here with rockets, he could have protected himself. Or if he had his hammerheads, he could have protected himself. But now it's a shame of the Shatterer army. They could have done so much damage, and the hexapod was taken down as soon as its phase was gone, and this army has nowhere to go now because they can't escape. They can't escape here. So Feyan has to.
Feyan has no MCV.
Yep. Yeah. Feyan's MCV is gone. Feyan is. Let's see what he's doing now. Not yet, but he will make engineers soon because he wants to take over these husks. There are a couple of husks here. 1, 2, 3 husks. 4 husks. As soon as Feyan takes down these units, this is actually a bad move of sending your slingshots right here. So that's why he's moving his slingshots away now, because he needs these in case Jimmy comes back with his helicopters. Daniel building up his army again. Vice has an army, but he's moving upwards, and actually Vice just needs to place his army right here because because Daniel's army is here. Because if Vice put his army of juggernauts right here, he could take down all of these scorpion tanks and also do massive damage on this Redeemer. Okay, so Feyan is deciding now to move forward because he knows he just fought back the entire army of Matthew, and Matthew doesn't have an army, only these heads of these mechapedes. He is going to lose one slingshot though because they're too close to the storm column. He has overextended. He made a mistake. He made a big mistake by overextending. This is his anti-air. This is a big mistake. Feyan just made a big mistake right here. See that? They are just lambs to the slaughter right here. This is too close. He has to send back all his tanks. En Jai, je moet even stilzitten. Je moet even stilzitten. Okay? This is a long battle though. That's why Vice is building up an army though. I don't think Jimmy had done any sneak attacks with his helicopters for a while. At least for the last 10 minutes. I haven't seen it yet. Okay, so Vice has an army right here. If they combine these two armies, because he does have some Shatterer tanks. These two armies right here, is big enough to destroy this army here. But they just need some anti-air for the Venoms. Because you cannot underestimate the power of the Juggernauts. He has 3 Juggernauts. These Juggernauts will rip through Scorpion tanks. And Jimmy also has the Zone Shatterers. So if I see this now, this entire army plus Jimmy's army and his helicopters, and Jimmy has sent away his helicopters now. I think he's gonna go move around. Where did he send his helicopters? I need to find Jimmy's helicopters. It's hard to see that. He sent them over here. I don't know why he sent them here. Why did he send them here? I don't know. Okay. Feyan did lose a lot of his tanks because of wrong positioning. He positioned them too close to the storm columns and too close to Vice's units. Feyan only has 2 Juggernauts versus Vice's 3 Juggernauts. So that's why Feyan's retreating now. And he realizes he just doesn't have enough yet. So he's waiting for reinforcements. Jimmy has another ion cannon coming in 3 minutes. So his is earlier than Feyan's ion cannon. Feyan does have money, and he remade his MCV now. Daniel has a large army now. Daniel can already attack right now. Daniel has a clear path to victory if he just moves right now. Just goes and kills Vice. Feyan has a large army, so he can hold out this area because he knows he won't be attacked. Because this part, their strength right now is defense. Because they have the storm columns to help them, but they just don't have enough for an all-out assault yet. But here we go. Matthew's move, Matthew's counter move for Feyan's Juggernauts are these planetary assault carriers. He has 3. No, he has 2 of them and these devastator warships. These things are very, very expensive, but so deadly. And this is a very strong army. This is a strong army, but these units have to be protected at all costs. Jimmy coming forward now. Very smart of Jimmy to see this. Very, very good. Very smart to see these lingering units. Jimmy didn't put any zone raiders inside anymore, so that is strange that he didn't put zone raiders in his helicopters anymore. If you look at Feyan's base, this base is well protected against air, but this base has no air units at all. Feyan forgot he has tanks here, so Jimmy could have swung around here. He could have came through this middle part and hit this base of Feyan easily and kill everything here. This base is all gone. Yeah, this base is all gone. This is one of the longest matches that we've played so far. Alright, here we go. Let's take another sip of the coffee because it's a long match. Well, I think I'll stop it here. I'll stop it here for a part 1. Stop it here for a part 1 because the action will begin again. If I look at the tension that's being built, let me turn around the camera a little bit. Matthew slowly positioning his assault carriers. Vice did move back his army though. Vice moved back his army to his base. That's also strange. This is a strange move because Vice could have moved it here, but I think that's because he didn't see this army. He has nothing to scout this army yet. And you see here that Vice he did not recover again. He recover his eco after Feyan's first assault. Alright. Oh, I missed this. Daniel's hitting him here from behind. That's why he moved all his units back. Oh, why didn't I see that? Very good sneaky move from Daniel. Very, very, very good move from him.
What is one?
This move right here from the Venoms, this is what Jimmy usually does. He usually goes into your base with his hammerheads and kills a couple of buildings. So I missed what Daniel hit, but it was effective because he hardly lost Venoms and he has those 2. He has the 2 heroics and he has a couple on the way. This one is almost heroic. I think he lost 1. He lost 1 heroic Venom. Feyan's force is built and he resurrected the dead. He has the tripod. He still needs to take over this one juggernaut, and that's why he's sending the engineer there to take over the juggernaut. Feyan is slowly moving again. He has rebuilt his army, so he has a unit combination again of I think 4. So he has better the tanks, slingshots against the air. He doesn't have any more APCs. So Feyan's weakness here is against infantry. A man spam would destroy this army. Man spam. But you need to see that though. So Feyan decided not to go for infantry because his juggernauts can take out a lot of infantry from far. So, Feyan overextending again. But I'm going to stop the match here. So we'll have a part 1 and then we will continue with part 2 soon. Alright? Okay.